SheaButterBabe.com. Escape the stress of your day while healing your dry skin. Shea Butter Babe uses only the purest African shea butter, blended with only the purest essential oils. Try our new featured collection of aromatherapy shea butter. SheaButterBabe.com. Shea butter is derived from the shea tree, which grows in the western region of Africa. The shea tree is sacred in African cultures because of its many healing and medicinal uses. Want smooth, blemish-free skin? Shea Butter Babe is the answer. Shea Butter Babe is all natural with no dyes or harmful chemicals you can't pronounce. Find us online at SheaButterBabe.com, powered by Shopify. And also find us on Instagram, SheaButterBabe.com. Shea Butter Babe, 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 Shea Butter Babe.
What's good, everybody? I'm your boy, Jeff Hodges. You know, it's bigger than hip-hop with my girl.
It's me, Kia. Jeffries in the building. How you doing?
All right. You know, we had those higher infinite power, healing our people type conversations with brilliant black minds. And tonight, with this exclusive, we definitely want to give a shout out to Live Hip Hop Daily, providing the platform tonight for us to bring y'all this exclusive. And as you see, sitting with me in the building is Grammy Award winning music producer, recording artist, philanthropist, actor and activist David Banner.
What's a lot of stuff out there.
You a lot, man. You a lot, man.
All of that.
Definitely a lot, man.
We love that.
Man, I'm honored, man. I'm honored.
I mean, I just, real quick, it was so amazing that my mom.
You have such bright eyes.
Thank you.
Pretty teeth.
Thank you.
She was like, you have. I was like, I don't know.
No, my mom knows who you are. I was like, I'm about to interview David Banner. Right. And she was like, I know that name. I was like, yeah, you know, he's a rapper, he was an actor, he's an activist, but she knows you like from The Butler and This Christmas and
I'm
stuff like that.
gonna tell you something that's crazy. I've been put in a situation by the universe to be in such diverse positions. You know, I have a television show on Aspire Network that our parents seem to love.
What's the name of it?
You about to get me in trouble. I forgot the name of my TV show.
Because somebody else said, isn't it a show?
Y'all about to get me kicked off of
Never heard?
No.
It's on Aspire. So
yeah, I'm about to tell you. Excuse me. It's I'll tell you the same. I just had a brain fart. I'm sorry.
It happens.
But the thing that I'll say is that I've been in a position to be in so many situations and to be able to hit our people from different directions.
Yeah.
Because what I learned is that, you know, as big as we can be in hip hop, you know, there's some people who have a bad taste. Hip hop is giving some people a bad taste.
Right.
You know, I remember, this is something that I never forget. I went to Minister Farrakhan called me for a secret meeting. And I went up to see him, and one of the first things he said to me, and it shook me, he said, I don't even want you to be in the nation.
Wow.
I was like, what?
Okay.
You know, because most people are trying to always recruit young, strong soldiers. He said, David Banner, people don't know what you are. He said, if I recruited you to the nation, then you may be an ailment to our people. And I'm paraphrasing what he said.
Right.
He said, so many people love you on your own.
That's true.
He said, if I can help you in your own walk of life, he said, I think you should stay exactly where you are. And I think all of the things that I do, all of the different TV shows, all of the acting that I do, you know, because sometimes it becomes a whole lot. I was actually thinking that today, man. These last 3 days, I've been purging out my whole house because
I saw that.
Bro, I do a lot, and it's a lot of pressure.
Right.
That's on me. People only see it. I remember somebody on Instagram said that, and isn't it a blessing I don't remember my own TV show that I host? But I saw somebody on Instagram who said that people never post the failures.
Right.
People never post the stress aspect of it. People never post that, you know, I've had 2 death threats. You know what I'm saying? For me being so vocal about what's going on with our people. You know, people never post the fact that when I put out my last album, The God Box, I paid for everything. I paid way over 6 figures in order for me to do something in hip hop that people wasn't even paying for, to do, you know, an album. And I actually never said this nowhere. I did an album that really had, especially towards our queens, no derogatory
we're gonna
terms.
get into that.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But the thing was, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't sit down and say, this was something I was gonna do. My lifestyle has changed.
Dictated.
So when somebody said that to me, I never noticed it, but I thought about it. It showed that when you live something, when it is a part of your, like your hat says, live hip hop daily. You don't have to talk about hip hop if it's live and it's hip hop and you do it what?
Every day.
Every day.
Every single
or like
day.
we would say, every day. You know what I'm about?
Every
No
day.
doubt. Now the God Box, let's talk about that. I thought it was such a shift for you with how you, you dabble a little bit of rock and soul, but cross all genres. But talk about the inspiration to go in the direction that you have sonically for this particular project and why.
Well, what's funny is people who are David Banner fans from day one, it's really not a change. I've been doing, me and Lil Jon have been doing rock for 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Cadillac on 22 that was a country record.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Jazz, my interludes on my records have always been that. What it is I think, is that because I'm a little bit clearer, I've been doing the same thing. I've been conscious since the 11th grade.
Right.
But when you high, you angry and you broke, Wendell Stimley said that, wise man named Wendy Stimley said, you cannot lead the people if you can't feed the people. So it's sort of hard to manifest the foundations of being consciousness and information if you broke. It's hard to dream if you don't have a bed to sleep in.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's a little bit, the things that I'm doing now are a little bit clearer to the people. One, because we have all these phones and Instagram and people can follow you every day. But really and truly, with the exception of my aggression and me being high, and violent, for the most part, it's been the same.
Right.
Well, who is your favorite artist, activist? Like, who are some of the people that you get inspired from?
Oh man, there's so many people inspire me. Like, to be honest with you, even the negative people.
Okay.
Like, I give you an example. I don't give 2 shits about our current president.
Okay.
But I'm inspired by the way he don't give a fuck.
Say that.
I'm
with you on
everybody
that.
said that, well, Obama can't do this because he's constricted by the shit.
Okay. He ain't constricted, right?
Shit, that white boy got in there and did what though?
They say
Can I
he
curse
got
first of all?
Rock out.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. I'm just making sure. I didn't want to disrespect the platform. But since I can say fuck man. What I'm saying is though, I am inspired by different things. I think one thing that we do is that we look at the Most High or God or whatever we believe in, and we look at it the way that white people have forecasted it to us or broadcasted it to us. The Most High is everything. I look at the jungle. When I want to see God, I look at the jungle. Rabbits don't do nothing to nobody. Butterflies and deers don't do nothing to nobody, but they're the main people getting their ass ate up. That's just the course of the universe, and it's not fair. It just is. So I get inspiration for everything because the Most High gave everything on this plane or on this platform to get inspiration from.
That's right.
If you're clear enough. You know what I'm saying? So just to answer the question, everybody, man. I tell you who I've been inspired by as of lately, Nipsey Hussle. I've been inspired by Nipsey Hussle because I've seen his struggle.
Right.
I met Nipsey real early before a lot of people on the East Coast or in the South were really on him. I was living on the West Coast, and his grind has been the same all the time. Like I'm inspired by. He said something that I wanted to say, but I didn't know how to articulate it. He said, I'm not as smart as people, I'm paraphrasing. He said, I'm not as smart as people think I am. I just didn't quit.
Say that.
How about that?
You know, I just kept going.
Right.
I've been very, very inspired by the things that he's doing. I mean, I can tell you, I find inspiration from an ant. You know what I'm saying? And the hard work of an ant. It just appears. There's so much and so many things. Today, I was inspired by, Snoop. People were asking me, well, David Banner, since you're so conscious and all that kind of stuff, why are you so inspired by Snoop getting a star on the walk? On the Walk of Stars or whatever.
On the Walk of Fame.
And the Walk of Fame, thank you. Pardon me. I told him, I said, because for Snoop to consistently stay himself.
Right.
He didn't do nothing but him.
That's a lot in the world of phony people.
You know what I'm saying?
And the whole time.
Right. And he crip walk on his star. Okay? I mean,
I love it.
And the thing is, whether you agree with it or not doesn't really matter. That's inherently him. And I was proud of him because people don't know this. When I was going through my worst depression in my life, I was going through a very bad depression. Snoop helped me. I had a Bentley in LA that my Bentley broke down, and I didn't have no other car. And I don't care if you got a Bentley or a bucket. If it's broke, you want it.
It's a problem, and that's a problem.
And Snoop, me and Snoop had an apartment in the same complex. It was this nice little complex, and I was walking from the car when I found out that it was broken. And Snoop say, nephew, what's up? Where your little pretty car at? And I said, it broke down. He said, I'll be on tour for 2 months. Here. He threw me the keys to his car.
Nice.
And I kept Snoop's car for 2 months. And those are the things that people don't see. When I was going through my depression, Snoop, he talked me through his life from post-death row up until today. He didn't even talk about the Pac beef. He didn't talk. People forget that Snoop was, when Snoop first came out, he was on a murder trial. Right. He was 1 second from them saying you are guilty and being in jail forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember at the time, I am now one payment away from a close to $1 million tax problem that I had ever since I had that big deal. I was really stressed by that. Snoop had a $2-3 million problem. And he told me what he went through. And for me to see him today, still valuable to our community, still happy, still feeding his family, that was very inspirational.
No doubt. And I think it's powerful that you're using your voice the way you have, and how young black males need an inspiration, and you touch on depression. That's something we utilize on our platform, bringing information. But talk about that Browder Files book and how that was the first book you touched that made you get your conscience on.
Oh man, I actually stole the book.
Okay.
Hold on. Say the title.
From the Browder Files.
Browder Files.
Yeah,
from the Browder
Files, because you teaching me. So
right.
You're teaching all of
you
us.
go to davidbanner.com. Y'all it's on there. But from the Browder Files.
Okay.
I used to go to Chicago every summer. And it's funny because I'm thinking about doing a documentary about this. House of Pain. There was this remix, Pete Rock remix, a Jump Around, from House of Pain. And it was hard to get because y'all remember how they used to have the maxi singles on CD?
Maxi single.
And they only had certain records on those maxi singles. And it had the Pete Rock remix, a Jump Around. And I was so happy because it was so hard to find that kind of stuff in Mississippi. And my cousin, he had the Browder Files, and everywhere he went, my cousin was gang banging the whole nine. Everywhere he went, he would not put this book down. Wow. He kept that book with him until he went to work. Well, he stole my CD because he knew I was going back that day. And he went to work. And I was like, shit, since you stole my CD, I'm steal this motherfucking book. So I took the book. I was in 11th grade at the time. I was like, man, what's up with this book? I read the first page, and that was the first book in my life I read from back to back. I mean, from cover to cover. I read that book from Chicago all the way back to Jackson, Mississippi, and it changed the whole course of my life. A month later, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. And from that point, my life has never been the same. The thing that I would like to say, though, and one of the reasons why I did the God box, people blame, and I think most people who do this are cowards. And if you are one of these people who say it, I think you're a coward too.
Wow.
People blame hip hop. Hip hop never changed our community. It was never about the music. It was the culture of the people. See, the people are fucked up. We as a people are fucked up. If you look at hip hop, the reason why hip hop was so powerful, if you look at New York, because at the time, people don't know this, I was signed to Penalty Records when Noriega was hot. So I was back and forth to New York a whole lot in my life. And so I saw, you know, the Nation of Islam, the Nuwapians. I saw, you know, just all of these different people doing street ministry. And when these laws came up that soaked all of this culture out of our streets, for the most part, wasn't nothing left on our corners but dope dealers. So if you look at A Tribe Called Quest, you look at Queen Latifah, you look at KRS-One, they were an example of the streets. There was an example of the Nation of Gods and Earths who were building everywhere that they went. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So what ended up happening is when we lost our culture as a people, then hip hop had nothing to reinforce it. Then white people start giving rappers money and they bought the culture. Hip hop has been bought. Black people no longer, and we're gonna have to stop acting like it's ours, because if we keep acting like hip hop is ours, then we won't fight to get it back.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I told people it was part of my generation's responsibility, is because we told these kids money over everything.
Yeah, we did.
So if money is over everything, then the white folks got the money.
Wow.
That's something that I'm going to start building on next month, is on how white people accumulated most of the resources on this earth. So in order for us, one of the reasons why we'll truly never really be free until we acquire money, land, water, electricity, not even money. Money comes with the people. Because if people see no value in the money, then they won't take your bullshit anyway.
Right.
I watch Teen Titans Go.
Okay.
And it's a little kiddie show, but they be dropping some real shit if you watch it. They were talking about bees. They turn bees into money.
Bees, like
bees, yeah, like bees. And so dude was like, I want some pizza. He said, that'd be 3 bees. He was like, I got $3. He's like, we don't take your money. Your money ain't no good. We want bees. So imagine if all black people decided that this live hip hop daily was $100.
Yeah.
Then if that is the case, then your money means nothing. The value of money is interpreted by the people, because if there's a book that's called The Creature from Jekyll Island.
Okay.
American money, the paper that it's printed on, is almost more valuable than the money itself now.
How about that?
American money is losing value every day. So in saying that, it's the same thing with hip hop, bro. Like, I look at the blatant disrespect of the people. They did research, and I want everybody to go look up this research. They said black music is one of the only genres of music that 90% of all the music that's made by black people is detrimental to the people that make it. Like it's either selling dope to us, saying fuck a nigga, fuck a bitch, and I'm not pointing the finger. I was the main one. I can only clean up me. I don't blame any other rapper, because one thing that I won't do is tell a kid what they shouldn't do if I can't provide them another way to get it, because I got it that way.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Say that.
Which segues nicely into my next question.
Did I answer your last question?
You did.
Okay.
So talk about when, like, companies, when they introduce new products, they have to reprogram the people. You run around and you give some jewels. Tell us how we can reprogram ourselves in terms of this thinking that we have that's detrimental.
Man, I think the biggest thing that we can do before we do anything is learn to love self. Like, one of the things I lecture about is I tell the young ladies, if you taught your children that they were gods, maybe they would act like gods. And maybe if they act like gods, someone would treat them like gods. See, the powerful thing about the Most High that I will say is that God bestowed upon us all the right to be demigods amongst ourselves. So it's like, think about this. If God spoke the world into fruition, whether you believe in religion or not, think about the power of thinking of something and making it born. Mm-hmm. Think of the fact that you can look at a woman and be like, wow, I love her. I'm going to make another God. Mm-hmm. And you think of it and you lay down and you do it. Mm-hmm. You bring it from the unseen. That's God-like. Right. You know, the fact that if you wanted to right now, you have the power and the wherewithal to take my life and give a life. You feel what I'm saying? We as Africans have to learn to love ourselves. They got our brethren and our sisters in Africa wanting to be white folks, bleaching their skin. Madness. You know, I mean, no disrespect to the sisters, but
no, there's aisles
psychological warfare.
Yeah, supply stores, all the bleaching products and all.
But even like, well, I'm not gonna get into that. But what I'll say is that it's about us loving ourselves first. Mm-hmm. I told somebody in one of my lectures, they was like, David Banner, why don't you go deeper? Why don't you give some solutions, more solutions to the problems? I know you give some solutions. Why don't you give more? I said, because if you don't like black people, you ain't gonna shop with them no way. If you don't like black people, you ain't gonna move in the same neighborhood as black people no way. Right. If I tell you to go to davidbanner.com and buy the new Black Fist bomber jacket, you ain't gonna buy it because you don't love black folks. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Think about when most black people get a whole lot of money. Mm-hmm. They go and give their money to the most elite white people on this planet. Motherfuckers that own Bentley can't stand black folks. Right. Motherfuckers that go own Christian Louis Vuitton and Louis Vuitton. I know people that work in these stores. I know people who are professional shoppers. They will tell you those folks don't want black people in their products.
Hilfiger told us that.
Yeah, I have more respect for him than anybody
Me
else.
Me too, because he said, I ain't making for y'all. I ain't making for y'all.
Right. And a lot of black folks still ran the game.
Still ran with
it. Sure did.
So what I'm saying is, to me, the main thing is learning to love self. Right. And then after loving self, we have to find our history again. One thing that I think that most descendants of Africans are scared to do, we're scared to stop. Like, bro, we have to stop. Sister, we have to stop and figure out, like, what happened to us. Yeah. Like, we got shot in the chest and we still running. Yeah. You know, when you get shot, what you do? You go to the hospital and lay down for a couple months. Right. You got to heal. Right. Not only have we not healed, we don't understand why we hate self. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to tell a sister this one time. I said, whether you like it or not, everything that you do is a cultural statement. Mm-hmm. The way that you wear your hair. Mm-hmm. The reason why I stopped Beijing in my beard is because I wanted the young kids to see a black man grow gracefully mm-hmm. and to be an elder. Mm-hmm. And just about every culture on this planet, besides recent black culture, being an elder is honored. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Now everybody want to be a fucking kid. Right. You feel what I'm saying? The children are supposed to be the body of the movement. The elders are supposed to be the mind. Right. But everybody wants to be a child, bro.
So, I have a question.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about, since we were talking about the money, mm-hmm. how do you feel about this, the Bitcoins, the whole...
digital money game?
Digital. How do you feel about Akon with his A-coin? Do you know about that? Well, how you feel
I'm
about
so glad you asked that. I don't want to talk about Akon.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about Akon specifically. Akon is a friend of mine. I don't like to talk about individuals because we have a tendency of trying to turn that against each other. It's not about the individual. It's about the principle. Mm-hmm. I believe that technology is important, but I don't believe that any person deserves anything that they can't create or they don't have a stake in themselves. Black people are running to give white people all of their money. Think about this, and it's going to relate to the Bitcoin. As soon as black people learn the music industry, because I was in that generation. I learned how to burn my own CDs, create my own CDs. Mm-hmm. I knew how to manufacture. Mm-hmm. I knew how to do everything. As soon as we were like 90% of knowing the whole entire game, then they went to streaming.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then black people went and wanting to be a part of technology and being a part of what's next, but you don't know anything about the creation of a stream. You don't know anybody that's a part of that. You don't have anybody that, none of your friends. I do have some friends, but you don't have many friends on the West Coast in Silicon Valley that can tell you. If you think about our cars, we used to go down to the Shade Tree mechanic and get a tune-up. Now, if your car is past 94, 95, you literally have to have 7 degrees to know how to fix a car at this point. So what ends up happening is we further invest ourselves into white supremacy with the Bitcoin. They haven't done you right with physical money.
Right.
So black folks as a whole, you know nothing about Bitcoin. You don't know anybody that you can go to if something goes wrong with your money. You don't know. You don't have anybody to go to. So you want to invest in something because you want to be a part of the future when you don't even know your past.
Right.
See, it goes into Sankofa. You can't be a part of the future if you don't have a hold on your past. So it's like we're rushing towards the future when we don't have the past nor the present. So like I am very it's even like Facebook, Airbnb. We're investing into things that really don't exist. If you look at Facebook doesn't own anything. They just set up a mechanism for all of y'all to bring y'all stuff and for them to make billions of dollars. Why can't we do it ourselves?
Exactly.
A football player, I forgot the dude's name. I don't even know if he plays anymore. He was the running back for the Houston Texans. He said, why are we so excited to create a website? Why don't we create our own internet? The concept of the internet, people don't even know was created by a black man.
Right.
So why can't we create a separate system? All within itself. Not get your own television station, not get your own television network. Create a whole nother system that's owned by us. See, I am very I was looking out. I was even talking about the new artists, and people was like, "David Banner, why do you still sell CDs?" And I told them, I said, I remember when they had this update on the MacBook Pro. It was something about a Jaguar or a cat, or it was something where you had to go and get the physical update. And if you couldn't get the Snow Leopard, it was called Snow Leopard.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you didn't get the Snow Leopard, do you remember what would happen?
You shut down.
You couldn't use your iTunes.
Yeah.
You couldn't use your music.
They shut you down.
So think about this. And all digital artists, right? And all digital artists, if you become revolutionary or they decide they don't want you to be a part of our children's future, all they have to do is push one button.
Push a button.
And you dead. You gone. You don't exist. Whereas people from our generation, you can get mad at me, you can't go find every CD. So the things that I believe that we should, I'm not saying someone should go and watch for what's going on in technology, but black folks running towards something when we don't control nothing right now. We don't even control our food. Us as Southerners, we ain't even making food no more. We ain't even farming no more.
No.
Crazy.
So we running towards a technology that we know nothing about.
What prompted you to use your voice on an entirely different stage as an activist? No doubt.
As an activist?
Yeah.
I've always been doing that.
What's the question?
What prompted him to use his voice on a different stage?
Yeah, but I've always done that. I mean, even when I was, think about it, when the Emmett Till case, anything that's ever happened with black folks. Doing Katrina. Me. We threw the largest urban relief concert in history.
Yeah.
The only reason why it seems like more now is because I told a kid this and it tripped him out. It's just because I'm older. Like even if I wasn't conscious, I wouldn't be going to the strip club every day no more. Like I'm old enough now. I'm actually old enough now that if I had a fast kid, that I could be a grandfather. I mean, a very young grandfather, a very attractive grandfather. But the truth is, most of the stuff with me has to do more with age than consciousness. Because I've been conscious, but when you're young and you're a little wild, and I was a little beside myself. But it's also time, bro. I'm seeing it in the streets. Some of my most ratchet homeboys, they ready now. I mean, it's life is getting to the point where you're gonna have to choose.
Exactly.
You know, it ain't too many middle grounds now, man. And I'm grateful to the Most High that it was revealed to our people the type of person that I was early, because a lot of people thought I was crazy. Yeah. When I really started pushing the consciousness, really hard early, a lot of people said I was crazy, and then. When certain stuff started happening, then they started looking for Mr. Crazy. But I do want to say one thing, if y'all don't mind me saying on y'all platform. I just would ask for our people to be more supportive. Unlike white people support the people that shoot for them the most. Whether they Klans members, whether they cops that shot innocent black people and it's on videotape, they support their people. It's crazy that our people, the people who do the most for them, got to almost trick them into supporting them.
Right.
That's true.
It's like I don't know, something. I'm still trying to study it, man.
It's real. I watch Shark Tank and I see that they come on and they say, yeah, who helped you get your seed money? Oh, my parents. The white people, oh, my parents, my friends. And the black people like, well, I had to, even Billy Banks' son was like, yeah, my father said he wasn't going to help me because I needed to figure it out on my own. And it's like... Go
into the hood and ask the average dude, like, yo, who in hip-hop is pushing for the community the most? And watch the people that they say, and then turn around and ask them, well, do you support that person?
Right.
Real life. And then we wonder why, and I'll say this, and then I'll let it go. I was speaking one time, because 2 years ago, my lecture, I had one of the top black lecturers in the whole United States for my God Box lecture series. A dude in the crowd say, David Banner, you get most of your money from the people. And I asked him, I said, you should be happy about that. Because if I didn't get my money from the people, then who would I have a constituency with? 9 times out of 10, the people who we're fighting against. If you don't get your money, let's say even if I wanted to turn my back on black people and I was getting my money the way that I feed my family from my people, I can't, even if I wanted to.
Right.
And see,
we love you, man. We're so glad you came.
No doubt.
Give your social media so
let them
people
know.
can follow you.
We gotta get that drop from you too.
Oh man, y'all just find me. Just go to davidbanner.com. I want to say this. I want to spend my time saying this. I'm proud of what you all doing. Y'all can't even see the environment, man. Like I'm really proud of what you all doing, man. And the thing for me, and one of the reasons why I came out today, man, is that we have to. There's something right now about me and children. I asked Charlemagne a couple months ago, why are these children so attracted to me? Man, I get millions, bro. I get more views on my speeches than I do my music now. Like millions, 30, 40 million.
Because it's time.
And I asked Charlemagne, I was like, why is that? He said, because a lot of these kids don't have their fathers.
Right.
So they go online and they're getting raised online.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is spread that power that I'm getting around to as many possible people as I can. Because the thing is, if I can pass some of it to you all, I can pass it to another independent platform. If something ever happens to me, they can't get rid of all of it.
Right. Say that.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all.
It's definitely been an honor and a pleasure, man.
Easy,
man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
I enjoyed myself.
Thank you, y'all, for tuning in. As always, it's bigger than hip hop. Let them know his breakfast is over, man.
Oh, man.
It's dinner time now. It ain't a game.
Yes. So, what's the drop? Get them to say the drop.
Yeah, it's bigger than hip hop.
Right,
Breakfast is over. It's dinner time now.
It's bigger than hip hop.
Yeah.
Right.
Breakfast is over. It's dinner time.
All right. It's bigger than hip hop. Breakfast is over. It's dinner time, baby.
David Banner.
Oh man, I really enjoyed
myself. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Syleena Johnson, and breakfast is over. It's dinner time now, baby. Every Friday, live on iHeartRadio. It's bigger than hip-hop radio.
This your boy Johnny Cabell checking in. It's bigger than hip-hop, so make sure you say tune in.
Hey, man, this your boy Rich checking in. It's bigger than hip-hop radio. Why? Because it's bigger than hip-hop. It's bigger than music. It's bigger than life. but you can find it on like the computer screen or TV. So you can get this small, but it's really big. Think about it.
Yeah, it's your boy Drummer Boy, aka D-Boy Fresh, and you watching me right here on Bigger Than Hip Hop, IHEARTRADIO. We beneficial. Yeah.
This is none other than Marlena, aka Lois Lane. Breakfast is over. It's dinner time now. On It's Bigger Than Hip Hop with your host Jeff Hodges on iHeartRadio every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's bigger, it's bigger, it's bigger than hip hop, yeah.